Clarissa Walker is the first person many people meet when they come to the Sabathani Community Center Emergency Food Shelf in South Minneapolis. She's run the food shelf and a free store there for more than 30 years. Her first job at the center was directing a youth program to try to counteract the riots in the late 60s that racked this country's urban neighborhoods. People arriving at Sabathani on a weekday morning carry their identification cards and fill the basement hallway. The cards bear the person's picture, name, and address. It's proof they qualify for help, and it gives them access to the food shelf and free store. The emergency food shelf Clarissa Walker helped start 30 years ago operated out of a closet. Now it has several basement rooms.
Hi there, this is Stephanie. She's one of our volunteers, faithful every Wednesday. This is food drives, food that she's now putting on the shelf. I'm licensed by the city of Minneapolis, which says the inspector can come through. All food is weighed in, all food is weighed out. So even when we do a food order, they're working on it too. It will be weighed out. The pounds will then go on that person's client so that we can tell you how many pounds of food came in, but also how many pounds of food went out and who got them.
Back in her windowless office, Walker is surrounded by wall plaques, commending her for helping poor people apply for the Earned Income Tax Credit, for her work with the Neighborhood Housing Program, and for literally dozens of other initiatives. Walker says she sees every day the effects of the economic downturn.
Who are you seeing coming to your office these days?
It's very interesting. Yesterday we did 78 food orders. My numbers are up. We're seeing a lot of increased diversity in our community. The number of Latinos are almost equaling or surpassing the number of African Americans. So the diversity has definitely changed in this community.
And what has happened to them recently to cause them to come to your office?
Well, so many of them work in hotels, airport handling, taxi cab drivers, and unfortunately the September the 11th event has caused them to be out of work.
Are they mostly single people? Do they have families?
They have families, and that's the sad part, that it's not just themselves. They are concerned about the entire family.
What kinds of accounts have you heard in terms of what's happening to them? Are they able to make rent payments? Have they found other work?
A lot of them are moving in with each other. There are households of 10, 11. We have the larger number of households because the only way they are not homeless, they're living with other family members.
Now, are these mainly able-bodied folks, including even some skills?
And I would not say they have a higher skill level being in the field of technology, or they are mostly laborers willing to do anything. They apply to work here. And unfortunately, I tell them they can volunteer, but I don't have money to pay them.
What do these folks face? Do you have, beyond the Thanksgiving giveaway, which you're supplying by way of donations here from the community, do you have money to supply basically anybody who comes through your door?
This program is basic needs, and we do not provide financial assistance. However, we try to provide food. It's difficult for me to go home and enjoy my own meal if I have made a judgment call and did not feed a child. And so I try to stay within the geographic boundaries, but I do have a category. When in doubt, I serve them as a special need, a one-time serve until they can give me the backup information that I need. So, yes, sir. No, your picture. Lola, right there. She will take your picture. And by taking pictures, that's another thing that we have found, and we started the first of this year, that many of the people coming here do not have the money to purchase an ID, Minnesota ID, or don't definitely have the necessary documentation. So we have what's called a basic need card for Sabathani, where they are able to show the basic information, and we give them a service card which allows them to shop in our clothing room,